the Royal Rumble usually means the start of the greatest time of the year. Well, for wrestling fans, that is. And, well, really anyone. Because it's WrestleMania. WrestleMania season's finally here. We're on the road to WrestleMania. And honestly, what better way to start it off with the Royal Rumble match? And this year was quite different. There wasn't anything special. It wasn't anything predictable, really. Although the way the Royal Rumble ended was meh, you know? And honestly, I don't blame WWE for the way these fans have been acting lately. And honestly, how selfish has the WWE universe been lately to demand that a match goes their way? Now, honestly, I was excited that Daniel Bryan was finally part of the Royal Rumble. And it's what? It's his second or third? I don't really remember. But he's been in a Royal Rumble event before, and he's lost a couple of times. Well, most of the time. He's never won a Royal Rumble match before. So, in his return, of course, he has to battle Kane, because authority. He battled him on SmackDown for the ability to keep his spot in the Royal Rumble event. So, Daniel Bryan winning, would that be like spoiling who's going to win the Royal Rumble? Well, that match kind of met pointless when Daniel Bryan was eliminated by Bray Wyatt. So, I've gathered all the notes so far, and as I'm struggling to find these said notes, here you are, Royal Rumble entrants. I have the full list of entrants and eliminations. Now, from order of 1 to 30, I'll go ahead and just tell you guys what I thought of Royal Rumble, and we'll go ahead and do who entered at what point and who they got eliminated by. First off, the Royal Rumble event was pretty well planned. There was some instance where I thought, they could have done so much better. The Divas match, I didn't pay attention to because the Divas champion wasn't even defended. It was just some dumb tag team match. The Bellas versus Paige and some other chick, I forgot who. Didn't pay attention to it. So, that was basically a waste of space, to be honest. There could have been another championship defense other than just Usos versus Golden Stardust and Cena versus Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. How did Seth Rollins even get into that match? I wasn't even watching Raw for the past couple of nights, and I just noticed that Seth Rollins didn't even earn his he didn't earn his way into it. He was basically placed into it by Triple H because authority. Really, WWE, get away from the authority. That's really getting old. And they were taken out at Survivor Series for a reason. It's getting very old. Another thing about the Royal Rumble event was that, of course, it marked the WrestleMania season, the beginning of WrestleMania season, which I always say it started after TLC or whatever last event happens in December or New Year's. I always like to count New Year's as the beginning of WrestleMania season because it's the next huge event. I mean, you don't just go up right after WrestleMania season and be like, "Oh, I'm ready for Night of Champions." No, what big huge event is after WrestleMania? It's SummerSlam, and then after SummerSlam, it's Night of Champions, then Survivor Series, and then after Survivor Series, it kind of slows down a bit. So really, the next big event is WrestleMania, or the Royal Rumble, if you want to count that as a major event. So Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania. 3 big events that kind of mark the WrestleMania season. Hold that thought. We're not having an Elimination Chamber this year because the stadium that they intended to have the Elimination Chamber in isn't big enough for the Elimination Chamber cage. So what do? They get rid of it. Bad move, and that is why I'm not going to watch Fastlane this year. But this is all about the Royal Rumble match, or I should say the Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. But really, this is all about the Royal Rumble match, because really, a pay-per-view depends on one match. And if the main event match isn't good enough, then the whole pay-per-view is shit. Well, if that was true, then WrestleMania 30 is complete shit because of the Undertaker match. And if that's also true, SummerSlam is shit. Any other pay-per-view between Rusev and whoever he was fighting for the respective America or whatever shit. Let's see, TLC was shit. And just about every other pay-per-view that one match didn't go our way was shit. Or when I mean our way, I mean their way. Now, that is very disrespectful for anybody to say that, oh, this match didn't go our way, this pay-per-view sucks. How selfish can you people be? I mean, WWE takes all their time and effort to plan out a great event and a great main event match, and you're pissed off because it didn't go your way. That is selfish. And usually I don't complain about things like that. I'm usually like, oh, well, they're complaining about this. Well, you're stupid because of that. I got other things to complain about. I really do. I got those protests and that are still going on about the teenager that was shot. I don't like that, but you don't see me complain about it. I about complained about it. Believe me, I almost did. Almost made a very bad video about it. But because we're talking about the Royal Rumble event, it all comes down on who won the match. Now, is Roman Reigns the right guy to win this match? A lot of people would say no. Some people, including me, would say yes. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying yes. First off, I don't like a part-timer being champion who shows up whenever they want to. Second, Brock Lesnar did kind of turn babyface on Raw and SmackDown last week. So, and not only that, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar seems like a really good match. I mean, I'm going to be watching WrestleMania 31 this year. Not just because it's WrestleMania, there needs to be a good main event match. And not a lot of people are going to like this, but I'm rooting for Roman Reigns. For one reason only. Brock Lesnar. Now, I got a lot of respect for Brock Lesnar because, first off, he's a lot bigger than me. And when I mean a lot bigger, I mean he's stronger. A lot stronger than me. And basically, he'd break me in half if I talked shit about him. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes knocking down this door in my next review for Fastlane, which sadly I will be forced to watch that because I like doing reviews. Second, I got a lot of respect for Brock Lesnar. Not only did he beat The Undertaker's streak and made me completely hate his ass, but he's got a little bit of my respect. I was just downstairs watching WrestleMania 20. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg was the main event. No, it wasn't the main event. It was one of the main events. It was a pretty decent match. Although Brock Lesnar didn't win, I enjoyed the match a little bit. But moving on, Brock Lesnar just seems like a pretty decent guy. When I mean decent, I mean he's a cool person, but he has a temper issue. When I mean a temper issue, if you've never seen him fight in UFC, which I'm going to admit I never seen him fight in UFC, but I've heard about it. And I've heard of the accomplishments that he's done. I've also heard of the failures that's happened. So really, when you think about someone who's been in big events, they've done everything in their power to win, or as Paul Heyman would say, conquer, and of course, defend. Now, when you do both of those things, you, of course, tend to get hated on. And of course, when you do that a lot of times, people start to get bored at you. Do it enough times, people start to say, all right, yeah, he's a good champion, but he doesn't show up every single week to fight. And that's what I don't like about Brock Lesnar. I've said this before. I don't like Brock Lesnar because he doesn't show up every week and fight. Never liked it. Never liked his current character, that is. So, Roman Reigns, is he fit to fight Brock Lesnar? Of course he is. That's why I choose him for WrestleMania 30. To win the main event at WrestleMania 31, excuse me. So Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar, depending on what happens at Fastlane, we're bound to see a great pay-per-view. And to all those people who are like, #cancel WWE Network, no one's going to cancel their WWE Network on a deal like $9.99. I mean, what are you going to use $10 for? A can of Pepsi? Or I should say a box of Pepsi. A 12-pack, I should say. What else are you going to use that $12 or that $10 for? Well, for one, you're not going to use the $10 to buy a pay-per-view over cable. That's $60. $60 can get you 6 months, half a year of WWE Network. That's just $9.99. Now, I'm not going to go all promotional and crap and promote WWE Network. Believe me, I'd like to get it myself. I might get it when I get the money. So, Royal Rumble overall. Now this is probably the hardest part. Royal Rumble altogether, and we didn't even get to see a good Raw last night. Now this is because there was a blizzard that has been announced to be a historic blizzard that happened over in the Northeast area. Now, meteorologists have been predicting this blizzard for the past couple of weeks. They've been noting it, they've been watching it, and they've been putting out warnings about it. They've given blizzard warnings, they've been doing watches, they've been doing this, and they've been doing that. I also love how everybody said that Mother Nature did not like the end of Royal Rumble on Sunday. I also want to know on how stupid that all those people are. How they believe that Mother Nature caused Monday Night Raw to not happen. And I just want to go ahead and say, WWE, you had 2 weeks to plan another venue. I'm sure you could have had another venue within those 2 weeks. I'm sure. Actually, I'm quite positive. 2 weeks. You couldn't have gone somewhere else. Nope. So, Monday Night Raw, was it even worth it? They showed the triple threat match. They showed the Royal Rumble match. I watched the triple threat match again, and I noted a lot of things. I noted that there was a couple of botches. Then they announced they were going to show the Royal Rumble match in its entirety. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So I watched Top Gear instead. That's how bored I was after watching Monday Night Raw for like the past hour. So, SmackDown is supposedly going to be like a little makeup shit or whatever because the Tuesday tapings of tonight is canceled. So, not sure what's going to happen. Supposedly there's going to be a live show this Thursday on Sci-Fi in replacement of SmackDown. So, who knows? Anyways, I rate Monday Night Raw. No, not Monday Night Raw. I rate the Royal Rumble and the Raw after, which really, there was no Raw. I rate Royal Rumble a 7 out of 10. They had a really good show. It sold, of course. Really good crowd, too. And the crowd was maybe a big difference maker. But after Daniel Bryan was eliminated, it was complete shit. I'm not saying the pay-per-view was complete shit. I'm saying that the crowd was completely selfish throughout the rest of the match and the pay-per-view. I mean, seriously. How selfish can the WWE crowd get? Anyways, 7 out of 10. That's what I rate Royal Rumble. It was a good event. I enjoyed it. And I really, honestly, honestly, I can't wait for WrestleMania. But Fastlane, same day as Daytona 500, same day as my birthday. Damn, I have a pretty damn good birthday to plan. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time.